Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Booborama, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing one of my favorite armored vehicles available in Grand Theft Auto Online. Not only is it actually one of my favorites, but it's also just a fantastic vehicle in general, and it's absolutely free, known as the Duke o' Death. Anybody that starts a new account or that's been playing for years has the ability to get the Duke o' Death for free. Just hop on to Warstock, Cash and Carry, sort by price, and boom, there is your Duke o' Death. Once you see this vehicle, just put it in whatever garage you want. I'm gonna have to put mine in the Eclipse Boulevard garage because all my other slots are already filled, but let's go get out it. And here she is, the Duke o' Death. Now, even though this vehicle is free, it is incredibly well armored. It can survive upwards of 6 homing missiles and 4 RPGs while you're inside the vehicle. That is an absolutely crazy amount of explosion resistance, especially because this vehicle features a lot of bulletproof protection, which we'll be breaking into after we finish upgrading the vehicle. But let's make our way over to Los Santos Customs and see the upgrades this car has. Now, to be fair, it's not the most exciting vehicle on upgrades. It would be really nice if Rockstar gave it some more options like they've done to the Turismo and other vehicles, but for now, we're just going to see what we can do to the Duke. So obviously we're going to give it the full armor upgrade because you want to be able to survive as much explosions as possible. Give it some race brakes, upgrade its engine, horn doesn't really matter. Let's give it some xenon lights. The lights on this vehicle look so dang cool. Now we got some paint jobs we can put on the Duke. And honestly, this thing just looks great in so many different color options. I already have one that's this color here, midnight blue. It just looks really nice with a midnight blue. But I think for my next Duke o' Death, I'm going to make it a bright orange. I feel like orange is going to look sick on this vehicle. Yeah, sunrise orange. And then for a secondary color, I'm thinking maybe a matte, but I'm not really sure. Let's just do a matte black. Let's stick with what it has stock. I think that looks pretty dang nice. Not going to put my crew emblem on it. Let's lower that suspension, give it a race transmission, turbo, and just like that, we're basically done with the upgrades. Now, rims, I usually like to go with off-road for a vehicle like this because it's not just going to be good for on-roading, but it's going to be good for doing whatever you want. So, there you have it. That's all really the customization there is for the Duke o' Death. There's not a whole lot, but I do have to be real, the vehicle looks really nice once you get it upgraded. I actually think the Duke o' Death is one of the nicer looking muscle cars in the game. Even though the Duke o' Death has been available to purchase in Grand Theft Auto Online for what, maybe 8 years now, it's actually still a rather impressive muscle car on its overall top speed and handling. It's around the 25th slot for overall top speed and handling out of these 70 muscle cars, which is actually not that bad at all when you actually think about it. The Duke o' Death reaches a top speed of 114.25 miles per hour, which is decent. In fact, if we compare it to the vehicle next to it, the Armored Kuruma, only goes about 110 miles per hour. And if we compare both of these vehicles' lap times, the Armored Kuruma features a lap time of 1 minute 9 seconds on a track, and the Duke o' Death is 1 minute 10 seconds. So overall, the Duke o' Death is just kind of a faster but similar Armored Kuruma when it comes to handling. But now we break into the armor area. How do these vehicles stack up when it comes to armor? Well, first of all, we have bulletproof protection. If we take a look at the Armored Kuruma, obviously this vehicle is completely impervious. If there was somebody sitting inside of the Kuruma, there's only like certain spots, like one angle right here and like another one in the back of the glass that you can actually hit somebody while driving the vehicle. But even then, it just does like 1 tick of damage. Killing somebody driving the Armored Kuruma is almost impossible unless you pull out explosives. Now, if you use explosives, the Armored Kuruma will literally go kabooey in 1 shot. And because of that, the Armored Kuruma, well, it's great for missions. Any missions, like, for example, Titan of a Job, where AI are going to be shooting at you, but they're not going to use explosions, then yeah, it's great. But the problem is, nowadays in Grand Theft Auto Online, we have the explosive pump shotgun. We also feature the explosive sniper, and we got RPGs, but better than that, we also have the railgun. The railgun literally has an instantaneous shot, and it counts the same damage as a homing launcher, which means that you will literally annihilate the Armored Kuruma in one hit. So yeah, I would say in 2023, the Armored Kuruma, it's not a great vehicle. It's amazing for missions, but people don't really do missions anymore. It's decent for heist setups if that's what you're doing, especially the Cayo Perico heist setups, but the heist setups for Cayo Perico are so dang easy, you don't even need an Armored Kuruma. You just use a Sparrow and you'll complete them 10,000 times faster. Because of that, the Duke of Death is kind of a well-rounded vehicle that features bulletproof protection, armor, and speed. First of all, we have the protection. This vehicle, all of the metal you're going to see actually counts as armor. Some vehicles in the game, that doesn't count, but as we can see, all the metal here counts as completely covered armor. What that means is actually shooting at the driver, the only spot you can pen them is through this little slit in the window here. Now, what's even better is the back of this vehicle. The back is completely bulletproof. As you can see, all the bullets are getting stuck on the louvers. So what that means is if there's somebody ever trying to shoot at you or you're being low health from AI in a mission, just turn your vehicle around and the AI are just going to keep shooting and shooting and shooting at the back of your car, but it's going to do literally nothing. In contrast to the Armored Kuruma, the Duke of Death can obviously survive, as I said, upwards of 6 homing missiles and 4 RPGs. So what that means is in missions, the Duke of Death is going to survive a heck of a lot longer than a vehicle like the Armored Kuruma when it comes to dealing with explosives, but as well, it features that bulletproof protection that's pretty dang nice. Even in a public session, it's pretty hard for people to just instantly home on your head while driving this vehicle, unless they're cheating or using auto-aim. But yeah, overall, the Duke of Death is actually incredibly well armored, it's fast, and it's got everything really going for it. Like, sure, Amani Tech vehicles do feature very good strengths going for them. The major one is the missile lock-on jammer, but something I don't suggest to do with Amani Tech vehicles is use them in missions, because obviously in missions, Amani Tech vehicles' armor doesn't really hold up too well. There's a very easy way to illustrate the difference on armor between the Champion There's a very easy way to illustrate the armor differences between the Duke of Death and any really Amani Tech vehicle. Let's use one with bulletproof glass. This is the Dubachi Champion. In front of you, we have a bunch of AI. We're on Titan of a Job, which is a fairly easy and simple mission. Now, Titan of a Job is one of the easiest missions for AI to suck, because this is like an OG Rockstar mission. So, as you can see, the AI aren't really hitting the glass all too much. However, what I will say is that if you're doing any newer missions, for example, any of the Doomsday Heist, or you're trying to do the Pacific Standard Challenge and get that $10 million, using a vehicle like the Champion will be okay for a little bit of time. But as you'll notice, the glass on this vehicle has already started to shatter on the front, and that's the exact same for the sides. Once the AI start to shoot through the glass, look at my health go. I mean, it just absolutely gets annihilated. So that is the only problem with a vehicle like the Dubachi Champion, is that your health is not going to last all too long once AI start to shoot through your glass. And if you're up against harder AI, as I said, like some of the later missions in the game have, your health isn't going to last very long. Compare that to the Duke of Death. As you can see, even though this vehicle does feature a very easy slit to shoot through, we're literally taking 0 damage. First of all, because the one window on this vehicle is completely impervious. So what that means is if you just keep your exhaust, or not your exhaust, but your intake on the front, your bug catcher, if you keep that kind of tilted towards the AI shooting at you, they're going to hit that rather than you 90% of the time. But I mean, you can see we're basically taking no damage here. I can just drive the vehicle all day long. The AI are going to just completely struggle to shoot me in the Duke. And that's just kind of how the vehicle is. It's just such a well-armored vehicle against bulletproof protection. As I said, if you ever get low on health, you just turn your vehicle backwards, and now the AI literally have no opportunity to shoot you whatsoever. You can see it's a great vehicle. It's got bulletproof protection, it's got explosion resistance, it's fast, decent handling, and for an armored vehicle, it kind of checks off all the boxes in the category. Normally, I like to say that this is a great budget vehicle, but it's not just a great budget vehicle. The Duke of Death is a great vehicle in general when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Online, and you would be fooled not to get your hands on one. So, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and let me know what you think about the Duke of Death in the comments down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.